How are you guys doing? Today is Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite matchups and performances from yesterday, Monday, August 2nd, and of course, I'm going to preview everything that's going on today as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. I'm getting started in the MLB. Starting off in Toronto, the Toronto Blue Jays hosted the Cleveland Indians in a matchup that went all the way to extra innings. The Indians would outscore the Blue Jays 3-0 in the 10th inning in order to run away with their 52nd win of the season after an RBI single from Ahmed Rosario and a 2-run home run from their elite infielder Jose Ramirez. For the Toronto Blue Jays in this matchup, the start was given to Robbie Ray. He allowed 2 earned runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 4. The loss was given to the Blue Jays elite closer, Brad Hand. Brad Hand would go on to allow 3 runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out a batter. With this loss, he's 5-6 on the year. In the Blue Jays batting lineup, their center fielder, George Springer, would go 2 for 5 with a run, and their elite first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., would go 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run. He would hit his 34th home run of the season. For the Cleveland Indians, the start was given to their starting pitcher for the day, Eli Morgan. Morgan allowed 2 earned runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 9. The win was given to the Indians' penultimate relief pitcher, Bryan Shaw. Shaw allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitched as he struck out 2. With this win, he's 4-5 on the year. The save would go to the Indians' closer on the day, Emmanuel Clase. Clase allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitch, and with this loss, with this save, he now has 14 on the year. In their batting lineup, their newest center fielder, Myles Straw, will go 2 for 5 with 2 runs. Their shortstop, Ahmed Rosario, will go 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run. And their elite third baseman, Jose Ramirez, would go 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run. He hit his 23rd home run of the season. With this win, the Cleveland Indians are now 52-51. That is the second best record in the American League Central. They've won 4 of their last 10 games as they now trail the Chicago White Sox by 8.5 games in the division. With this loss, the Toronto Blue Jays are now 54-49. That is the 4th best record in the American League East as they've only lost 4 of their last 10 games. They now trail the Tampa Bay Rays by 8 games in the division, and they are trailing the Oakland Athletics for the second American League wildcard spot by 4 games. Jumping out to our nation's capital, the Washington Nationals hosted the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Phillies were able to beat the Nats 7-5 after scoring 5 of their 7 runs in the 9th inning. For the Phillies, it would end up being a Gene Segura double to tie the game, and it would be a JT Realmuto 2-run single to give the Phillies the lead that they ran away with. For the Nationals in this matchup, the start was given to their starting pitcher for the day, Josiah Gray. Josiah Gray allowed 1 earned run in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 2. The loss was given to their penultimate relief pitcher in this matchup, Gabe Klobosits. Klobosits would allow 2 earned runs in 1 inning pitched, and with this loss, he's 0-1 on the season. In the Nationals batting lineup, their third baseman, Carter Kieboom, was the only player on the team with more than 1 hit. He would end up going 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit his first home run of the season. For the Philadelphia Phillies, the start was given to Ranger Suarez. Ranger Suarez would end up allowing no earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out 1 as he's typically their closer. The win would go to the Phillies' penultimate relief pitcher, Archie Bradley, as Bradley allowed no earned runs in 1.2 innings pitched, striking out a batter. This would be his second blown save of the year, and with this win, he's 6-1. In the Phillies batting lineup, their center fielder, Travis Jankowski, would end up going 2 for 5 with a run on the day. Their all-star catcher, JT Realmuto, would go 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run. Their third baseman, Alec Bohm, would go 2 for 5 with an RBI, and their left fielder, Odubel Herrera, would go 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. He hit his 7th home run of the season yesterday. With this win, the Philadelphia Phillies are now 53-53. That is the second best record in the National League East. They've won their last 2 games, and they've won 5 of their last 10. They currently trail the New York Mets by 2.5 games in the division. With this loss, the Washington Nationals are now 49-57. That is the 4th best record in the National League East. They've lost 6 of their last 10 games, and they currently trail the New York Mets by 6.5 games in the division. Jumping out to New York and the Bronx, the New York Yankees hosted the Baltimore Orioles, and the Orioles would pull off a 7-1 win as they were able to score 6 of their 7 between the 3rd and 6th innings. For the New York Yankees, the start and the loss was given to Andrew Heaney, their newest pitcher from the Angels. Heaney would allow 4 earned runs in 4 innings pitched as he struck out 4. With this loss, he's 6-8 on the year. In the Yankees batting lineup, nobody on the team would finish with more than 1 hit, and that can be attributed to great pitching from the Orioles. The start and the win went to Jorge Lopez. Lopez allowed 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 4. With this win, Jorge Lopez is 3-12 on the year. In the Orioles batting lineup, their center fielder, Cedric Mullins, would go 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. He had his 18th home run of the year. Their first baseman, Ryan Mountcastle, will go 3 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs as Mountcastle hit his 18th home run of the year. The right fielder, Anthony Santander, would go 2 for 4 with a run for himself. And with this win, the Baltimore Orioles are now 38-67. That is the worst record in the American League East and the worst record in the American League. They've won 7 of their last 10 games as they now trail the Tampa Bay Rays by 25 games in the division. And with this loss, the New York Yankees are now 56-49. That is the 3rd best record in the American League East as they've lost 4 of their last 10 games. They now trail the Tampa Bay Rays by 7 games in the division, and right now they are currently trailing the Oakland Athletics by 3 games in the wild card race alongside the Seattle Mariners, as the Yankees and the Mariners are the first teams on the outside looking in. Jumping out to Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Rays hosted the Seattle Mariners, and the Mariners were able to pull off an 8-2 win, scoring 5 of their 8 runs in the 3rd inning. For the Tampa Bay Rays, the start and the loss went to Michael Wacha. He allowed 6 earned runs in 4 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With this loss, he is now 2-3 on the year. In the Rays batting lineup, their elite designated hitter, Nelson Cruz, would go 2 for 4. And then their elite left fielder, Randy Arozarena, would go 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. He hit his 15th home run of the season. For the Seattle Mariners, the start and the win went to Chris Flexen. Flexen allowed 2 earned runs in 6.2 innings pitched as he struck out 6. With this win, he's 10-5 on the year. In the Mariners batting lineup, their shortstop, J.P. Crawford, will go 2 for 4 with 2 runs. Their right fielder, Mitch Haniger, will go 2 for 4 with a run for himself. Their first baseman, Ty France, would go 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs. Ty France hit his 11th home run of the season. Their left fielder, Jake Fraley, would end up going 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run. And with this win, the Seattle Mariners are now 57-50. That is the 3rd best record in the American League West as they've won 6 of their last 10. They currently trail the Houston Astros by 7.5 games in the division, and they are trailing the Oakland Athletics for the 2nd American League wildcard spot by 3 games alongside the New York Yankees at the moment, as the Mariners and the Yankees are the first teams on the outside looking in. With this loss, the Tampa Bay Rays are now 64-43. That is still the best record in the American League East as they've lost 4 of their last 10 games. Right now, they sit 1 game ahead of the Boston Red Sox in the division, and they are holding on to the 2nd seed in the American League, sitting behind the Astros out west and the Chicago White Sox in the Central. Jumping out to Miami, the Miami Marlins hosted the New York Mets as the Marlins were able to put up a 6-3 win over the Mets, scoring 4 of their 6 runs in the 1st inning, thanks to a grand slam from Lewis Brinson. For the New York Mets in this matchup, the start and the loss went to Tyler McGill. He allowed 5 runs in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 4. With this loss, McGill is 1-1 on the year. In the Mets batting lineup, their elite first baseman Pete Alonso would go 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. He hit his 24th home run of the season as he was the only player on the Mets with more than 1 hit. For the Miami Marlins, on the other hand, the start and the win went to their starting pitcher, Jesus Luzardo. Luzardo would allow 3 earned runs in 5 innings pitched, striking out 5. With this win, Luzardo was 3-4 on the year. The save was given to the Marlins closer, Dylan Floro. Floro allowed no earned runs in 1.1 inning pitched as he picked up his 3rd save of the year. In the Miami Marlins lineup, their second baseman, Jazz Chisholm, would go 2 for 4 with a run. Their shortstop, Miggy Rojas, would go 2 for 4 with a run as well. And then their left fielder, Lewis Brinson, would go 2 for 4 with 5 RBIs and 2 runs. He would go on and hit his 4th home run of the season. That was his grand slam. And with this win, the Miami Marlins are now 45-61. That is the worst record in the National League East and the 2nd worst record in the National League. They've won 4 of their last 10 games as they now trail the New York Mets by 10.5 games in the division. With this loss, the New York Mets are now 55-50. That is still the best record in the National League East. They've lost their last 2 games, and they've lost 6 of their last 10. They now sit 2.5 games ahead of the second place Philadelphia Phillies in the division. Jumping out to Dallas, the Texas Rangers hosted the Los Angeles Angels, and the Rangers were able to pull off a 4-1 win at home, as they were able to break their 1-1 tie with the Angels in the bottom of the 5th off of Isaiah Kiner-Falefa stealing second, and then with that, Brock Holt stole home. That's how they were able to take the lead, and they ran away with it. For the Angels in this matchup, the start and the loss was given to their starting pitcher for the day, Chris Rodriguez. Rodriguez allowed 4 runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 7. With his loss, he's 2-1 on the year. And no one in the Angels lineup was able to finish with more than 1 hit on the day. That could be attributed to great pitching from Texas. For the Rangers, the start and the win went to Dane Dunning. Dane Dunning allowed 1 earned run in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With his win, he's 5-7 on the year. The save would end up being given to Spencer Patton. Spencer Patton would allow no earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out a batter. That was his first save of the year. And in the Rangers lineup, the only player with more than 1 hit was their designated hitter for the day, Curtis Terry. Curtis Terry went 2 for 3 with a run. With this win, the Texas Rangers are now 39-67. That is the worst record in the American League West, and that is the second worst record in the American League. They've won their last 3 games, and they've won 4 of their last 10. They currently trail the Houston Astros by 25 games in the division. With this loss, the Los Angeles Angels are now 52-54. That is the 4th best record in the American League West, as they've lost their last 2 games and they've lost 5 of their last 10. They currently trail the Houston Astros by 12 games in the division at the moment. Jumping out to Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Brewers were able to beat the Pittsburgh Pirates at home 6-2 to retain their lead on top of the NL Central, scoring 5 of their 6 runs in the 6th and 7th inning. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, the start and the loss was given to Bryce Wilson. Bryce Wilson allowed 1 earned run in 5 innings pitched, and with this loss, he's 2-4 on the year. In the Pirates batting lineup, their catcher Jacob Stallings will go 2 for 4 with a run, and then their right fielder Gregory Polanco will go 2 for 4. For the Milwaukee Brewers, the start and the win was given to Eric Lauer. Eric Lauer allowed no earned runs in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With his win, he's 4-4 on the year. The save would be given to the Brewers closer, Brad Boxberger. He allowed no earned runs in .2 innings pitched as he struck out a batter. That was his 4th save of the year. In the Brewers batting lineup, their third baseman Eduardo Escobar will go 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit his 24th home run of the season and his 4th triple of the year. For the Milwaukee Brewers, with this win, they are now 64-43. That is the best record in the National League Central, as they've won their last 2 games and they've won 8 of their last 10. They currently sit 7.5 games ahead of the second place Cincinnati Reds in the division, and they're holding on to the 2nd seed in the National League behind the Giants out west and ahead of the New York Mets out east. With this loss, the Pittsburgh Pirates are now 40-66. That is the worst record in the National League Central and the 2nd worst record in the National League. They've lost their last 2 games and they've lost 6 of their last 10. They now trail the Milwaukee Brewers by 23.5 games in the National League Central. Last but not least, jumping out to Phoenix, the Arizona Diamondbacks hosted the San Francisco Giants. The Giants were able to pull off an 11-8 win after outscoring the Diamondbacks 3-0 in the 10th inning to run away with their 67th win of the year. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, the start was given to Taylor Widener. He allowed 5 earned runs in 4.1 innings pitched, striking out 7. The loss was given to the Diamondbacks closer for the day, and in this matchup, it was Miguel Aguilar. Aguilar would allow 3 runs in 1 inning pitch, striking out a batter, and with this loss, he's 0-1. In the Diamondbacks lineup, their right fielder, Cole Calhoun, will go 2 for 4 with 2 runs. Their center fielder, Ketel Marte, went 2 for 5 with 2 runs. Their third baseman, Asdrubal Cabrera, will go 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs for himself as he hit his 6th home run of the year. For the San Francisco Giants, the start went to Anthony DeSclafani. He allowed 5 runs in 4.1 innings pitched, striking out 5. The win was given to the Giants closer for the day, Jarlin Garcia. He allowed no earned runs in 2 innings pitched, and with his win, he's 3-2 on the year. In the Giants batting lineup, their left fielder Alex Dickerson would go 2 for 5 with 4 RBIs and a run. He would pick up his 11th home run of the season. With this win, he's now 67-39. That is the best record in the National League West. They've won their last 3 games, and they've won 6 of their last 10. They now sit 3.5 games ahead of the second-place Los Angeles Dodgers in the division, and they're holding on to the number 1 seed in the National League, sitting ahead of the Brewers out of the Central and the New York Mets of the National League East. That is what the MLB is currently looking like as we look into what's going on today. Starting at 7:05, Nestor Cortez and the New York Yankees are going to host Alexander Wells and the Baltimore Orioles. At 7:05, at the same time, Patrick Corbin and the Washington Nationals are going to host Zach Wheeler and the Philadelphia Phillies on ESPN+. Zach Wheeler enters his matchup with an 8-6 record alongside a 2.45 ERA. At 7:07, the Toronto Blue Jays, led by their elite starting pitcher Hyunjin Ryu, are going to host Zach Plesac in the Cleveland Indians. Hyunjin Ryu comes into this matchup with a 10-5 record alongside a 3.26 ERA. At 7:10, Willie Peralta and the Detroit Tigers are going to host Garrett Richards and the Boston Red Sox. Willie Peralta comes into this matchup with a 3-2 record alongside a 3.64 ERA. At 7:10, Tyler Mahle and the Cincinnati Reds are going to host Kenta Maeda and the Minnesota Twins. Tyler Mahle enters his matchup with an 8-3 record alongside a 3.71 ERA. At 7:10, the Miami Marlins are going to host Taijuan Walker and the New York Mets. Taijuan Walker enters his matchup with a 7-5 record alongside a 3.71 ERA. At the same time, at 7:10, Luis Patino and the Tampa Bay Rays are going to host Yusei Kikuchi in the Seattle Mariners. Kikuchi was an all-star this season. At 8:05, Jordan Lyles and the Texas Rangers are going to host Jose Suarez and the Los Angeles Angels. Suarez enters his matchup with a 4-4 record alongside a 3.45 ERA. At 8:10, Dylan Cease and the Chicago White Sox are going to host Chris Bubich and the Kansas City Royals. At the same time, Adrian Hauser and the Milwaukee Brewers are going to host Max Kranick and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Adrian Hauser enters his matchup with a 7-5 record alongside a 3.69 ERA. At 8:15, John Lester and the St. Louis Cardinals are going to host Max Fried and the Atlanta Braves. At 8:40, Kyle Freeland and the Colorado Rockies are going to host Zach Davies and the Chicago Cubs. At 9:40, Sean Manaea and the Oakland Athletics are going to host the San Diego Padres, led by their elite starting pitcher Blake Snell. Blake Snell enters this matchup with a 4-4 record alongside a 5.44 ERA. Sean Manaea enters his matchup with an 8-6 record alongside a 3.01 ERA. At 9:40, Madison Bumgarner and the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to host Johnny Cueto and the San Francisco Giants. Cueto enters his matchup with a 7-5 record and a 3.84 ERA. And then at 10:10, last but not least, it will be a rematch of the 2017 World Series as the defending World Series champs Los Angeles Dodgers, led by their elite starting pitcher Walker Buehler, are going to host the Houston Astros, led by their starting pitcher Lance McCullers Jr. Lance McCullers Jr. enters this matchup with an 8-2 record alongside a 3.23 ERA, and Walker Buehler enters this matchup with an 11-1 record alongside a 2.19 ERA. So right now, that is what baseball is looking like as we take a quick glance of what the medal count is looking like following the 10th day of events at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics being played in 2021. Starting off in badminton, the men's single gold medal went to Victor Axelsen of Denmark as he was able to beat Long Chen of China in the gold medal matchup. The women's doubles gold will go to Indonesia as Indonesia was able to beat China in the gold medal match. In track cycling, the women's team sprint gold medal went to China as the silver medal went to Germany. In equestrian, the gold medal in eventing individual will go to Julia Krajewski of Germany. In the eventing team, the equestrian gold medal went to Great Britain. Jumping out to gymnastics, the men's ring gold went to Yang Liu of China. And also in gymnastics, the men vault gold medal will go to Jaewon Shin of South Korea, and the women's floor exercise gold will go to Jade Carey of the United States. Going out to the shooting events that took place, the gold medal in men's 50-meter rifle 3 positions went to Changhong Zhang of China, and then the men's 25 rapid-fire pistol gold medal went to Jean Kikampo of France. Looking at the track and field events, the gold medal in the men's 3,000-meter steeplechase went to Soufani El Bakali of Morocco. The gold medal for men's long jump will go to Miltiadis Tentoglu of Greece. Sorry if I butchered the name. And Jan Miguel Echevarria had the best jump, but the Greek had the better second jump, which gave him the gold medal. Looking at the women's 100-meter hurdles, the gold went to Jasmine Camacho Quinn of Puerto Rico. In the women's 500-meter event, the gold medal went to Sifan Hassan of the Netherlands. In the women's discus, the gold medal went to Valerie Allman of the United States. Looking at the weightlifting competition in women's 87 kilogram, the gold went to Zhuyu Wang of China. In the women's plus 87 kilogram, gold medal went to Wenwen Li of China. In wrestling, the men's Greco-Roman 130 kilogram gold went to Mijane Lopez Nunez of Cuba. The men's Greco-Roman of 60 kilograms went to Luis Orta Sanchez, also of Cuba. Staying in wrestling, the women's 76 kilogram freestyle gold went to Aline Rotter-Faken of Germany. She was able to beat Adeline Gray of the United States. Right now, that is what sports are looking like as we navigate into today's events for Tuesday, August 3rd. Once again, I want to thank the MLB, ESPN, Bleacher Report, and other websites for giving me the facts and figures that I needed as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. And I want to thank everyone for listening to all 21 minutes of this piece. And with that said, I want to thank once all of today's exhibitions and matchups are done, I will come back tomorrow, Wednesday, August 4th, 2021, for another installment of The Elite where I go over what happened today. And until then, thanks for listening to my piece. I hope all is well, and peace out. I'll catch you with another episode of this tomorrow.